Another cop shoots a black teen in the back, and the police refuse to release the footage, put it up full mass. I have a lot of details, a lot of background here. Very sad. The family of Jabari Peoples says an Alabama cop shot their son in the back and left him to bleed out. Jabari Peoples was fatally shot on June 23rd in the Birmingham suburb of Homewood. Now police face accusations of a cover-up as footage remains sealed. We want access to that footage. Following the release of an independent autopsy, the results showing that a black college student was shot in the back by a police officer in Alabama. The family and their attorneys are calling for the state authorities to release bodycam footage showing the fatal encounter. The day after the shooting, Homewood police posted some details on Facebook stating that one of their officers was investigating a suspicious car that evening when one of the vehicle occupants, quote, engaged in a physical altercation with the officer, end quote, and, quote, produced a handgun, resulting in an officer-involved shooting, end quote. So on June 25th, Homewood Police Department posted a press release identifying the young Mr. Peoples as the occupant who started the altercation. The release states that when the officer approached the car, quote, he smelled the odor of marijuana and ordered both occupants out of the vehicle. When Mr. Peoples got out of the car, the officer reportedly saw a handgun in the driver's side pocket. When the officer tried to arrest Peoples for marijuana possession and possible other charges, police said that Peoples started to actively resist, causing a physical struggle that reportedly knocked the officer to the ground. Quote, Peoples broke away from the officer and retrieved the handgun from the open driver's side door pocket, creating an immediate deadly threat to the officer. The release states, quote, the officer, fearing for his safety, fired one round from his service weapon to defend himself. Mr. Peoples fell to the ground, still gripping the handgun in his right hand. After medics were called to the scene, they rushed Mr. Peoples to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The 18-year-old's family said they weren't notified about Mr. Peoples' death until more than 12 hours after the shooting. There's more. They disputed the police department's version of events with the help of Peoples' girlfriend, who was in the car as well and stated that the young Mr. Peoples was actually not armed at all, not aggressive, and did not resist and complied with police orders. Quote, he was approached by an individual in an unmarked vehicle with no lights, no sirens, or no visible identification. That officer exited the car, tapped on the window, and told the occupants to exit. They followed directions. Jabari complied, and within seconds, he was taken to the ground and shot. The family wrote on Facebook, quote, a witness was present. That person saw everything. There was no weapon. There was no threat. And once Jabari was shot, the officer took no life-saving action, no CPR, no medical attention, nothing. He was left to bleed out on the street. In their press release, Homewood police said the investigation and the body cam footage of the shooting were turned over to the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency per department protocol. And arrangements were being made to show Peoples' family the video of the incident. However, the family has still not seen the body cam video. Now, this is a dramatic difference. The eyewitness testimony is dramatically different from the proclamation on Facebook by the police department. One account says the individual basically put a gun in his hand and posed a threat to law enforcement. Another person says there was no gun, no threat, and Mr. Jabari was in compliance. Then you have something else that is objective and not subjective. It's called your autopsy. The autopsy objectively claims that the young man was shot in the back, which also would mean you now have to weigh credibility to the second witness who said the young Jabari Peoples posed no threat because the autopsy reveals his back was toward the officer when the shot was made. This is science. There's more. 3 weeks, this is a quote, 3 weeks, and we still don't have answers. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump said at a news conference on July 15th. The family filed a petition demanding that the city of Homewood release the footage. But city officials say that Alabama law enforcement agency has custodial authority of the video. Homewood Mayor Alex Wyatt has called on the state agency to allow the family to view the video. The Jefferson County coroner has completed an autopsy, but ALEA is withholding those results as well as agency officials continue to investigate. Quote, no parent should have to bury their child, People's father said, adding an emotional plea to see the footage. Just show us what happened to our child, please. Family members are also considering filing a wrongful death and civil rights lawsuit. Naturally, they need the evidence to do so. In moments like this, closure is so important to parents of a slain child, regardless of how it happens. Because in the mind of the parent, the narrative inside of their mental parameters, just like it would happen for me, it would happen for many parents that are watching this. It goes extreme to the negative. And you want to know. You want to have surety as to what happened. And if you need to become an advocate for justice for your child, you want to know what happened to your baby. So we stand with Ben Crump and the family to demand the release of this video, and the family should have seen it well before now. And while the local police may claim that the custodial authority is with the state agency, I understand that's another cop-out, no pun intended, because the local police department still has jurisdiction over the investigation and can show that video at any time. All right, Jim, other thoughts?
First of all, another condolences to the family of a young black male who was a victim of police. I'm tired of these condolences. My condolences to the Jabari family. Secondly, the Epstein files and police body cam, when the police are wrong, are basically in the same vault somewhere. I do not understand how we do not get body cam immediately. That is the point of body cam. Now, maybe there should be a 24-hour rule so the police can go over it first. I completely understand. However, as far as the family not getting it almost a month later, what are they hiding? Clearly, there is another cover-up in the midst. How do we know? The autopsy report, postmortem shows the shots were in the back. That does not corroborate the police officer's testimony. It does, however, corroborate the other witness, the girlfriend who was present at the scene, her testimony. Secondly, suspicion itself is not a criminal act. Why was the police engaged? They're allowed to investigate. They are not allowed to interrogate. He had no responsibility to answer any of the questions. Last but not least, when these situations happen, I always wonder, well, why would the person do that? Was the person involved in robbing a bank at the time? Was there something where it was an exigent circumstance where they felt that they fought back against the police officer? No, in this case, they were just simply there. They were simply, so what could have escalated in which Mr. Jabari could have even reacted this way to begin with if that had happened? It's not there. There's no circumstance, there is no respect, and there is no evidence in this case. Release the body cam.
Yeah, release the body cam. Let's deal with it as it is. To the community, continue to not rest until you have that footage. We'll stay on top of it with you.